you creatively connect with your audiences during this time? And anyone can jump in and answer that.
I will say.
Well, can I ask something really quick?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Keisha.
John, I'm really interested in you sharing like how, you know, just your perspective on it and how it's affected you as a musician.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to
Right.
like a singer that just can get, you know, you to just get on a video and just start playing drums. Just that's not. How have you been able to kind of, how are you navigating this?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that it has challenged us to be creative in different ways. It's really challenged us in a good way, actually, especially on the musician side. We've found ways to collaborate with each other. I've been doing records like crazy lately, recording them.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Back to people, you know, everybody's in the studios at home or at their studios, wherever, and they're like, "Yo, can you play on this?" You know, I'm trying to get my record done. Like it's forced people to go out their comfort zone, you know. And then for some of us, this is an extension. Not to say that this is cool, but on the other side of it, the positive side is that it's an extension of what we normally do. You know, outside of touring or playing live. I come home and I live in the studio most of the time. I'm playing on people's tracks. I'm sending them back out. You know, some people I might do deals with, you know, that's not paying me what I normally would get.
Right.
That have budgets and they're like, "Yo, I got some money here. What's your rate?" Boom, you know, and it's cool. And some of the stuff I've done for free, just on the love of putting good energy out there and giving some people positive, you know, reinforcement while this is going on. So it's all been kind of balancing out for me. No, I'm not making tour money right now. I would have dates with Seal and all kind of stuff happening. Some jazz festivals coming up. All of that stuff got canceled or postponed. So I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars since all of this has happened. You know, and I'm, you know, and everybody else has too. But I've found a way to try to still keep it going. You know, for a minute, I got a little nervous. I was like, "Oh no, what am I going to do?" You know, because I'm used to gigging. You know, and so, but you know, God has definitely looked out, I must say. And thanks to Music Cares who sent me a check to help me.
I got a little check from them.
Yeah, I appreciate Music Cares. I filled out some other things. Some of that stuff didn't come through. I think New York
did not come through.
Yes, a lot of stuff didn't come through, but I 3 things that I did fill out for came through. And man, I was getting ready to move into a house, like looking at a house right now, you know. So all of this was like, oh no, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a big shock, but I must say that God has definitely, you know, looked out.
I wanted to say, Algebra, Lil Jon had mentioned that you do lipstick and other, what are some of the other ways that you have been able to bring in some income?
So I was just, I'm in a big place in my life where I'm supporting small businesses because not only am I a musician and an artist, but I am a small business. I have a makeup line, I have a lipstick line, a candle line. And I think as all musicians and artists, we start out by selling our merchandise at our shows before and after. So that meet and greet period is essential because we will sometimes take a gig that may not be paying as much, but we know we'll come back around with our merchandise, right? Mm-hmm. So I just kind of started diving into things that I love and to sell those to my fans. It has been a downswell, but it's also been an upswell because it's forcing me to really dive into that area of my life. I was talking to another businesswoman yesterday morning and just kind of wanting to figure out how to help other small business owners. We're out here in the paint, seriously. It is, you asked a question earlier about how it's affected us personally. The music will always be there. It's just all about how we can be creative enough to give it to the people now. Mm-hmm. Even not just the older stuff, but even the newer stuff, and letting people know about the other things that we're doing. Lipstick, candles. I know Anthony was doing something with Delta, just kind of being able to reach out and touch people to do stuff. But personally, it's also affected me, just to go back to the other question, being hit close to home when someone that you love and know gets COVID and does not survive. And the biggest thing that I think I'm still trying to I'm struggling with is virtual funerals right now. It's still the hardest thing. So everything else that we talk about as far as the money and the work and the entrepreneurship, it's mandatory that we do it because we have to live, but it's like somebody didn't survive and you can't even pay the respects. So all of that stuff, it just kind of comes all together. So every time I think about every lipstick that I sell, I'm not thinking about the money that I'm getting. I'm thinking about what can I do with this money to support myself and somebody else. So my brain is just always running. It all just ties in together with me. I got to do it. And I got to be happy about doing it so that it can manifest. And I just feel like energy transfers. So every lipstick I sell, every candle I sell, every song I sing on IG Live and somebody cash out me $5, $50, $20, it's going in my pocket, but that thing is turning over so that I can help somebody else. It's for my groceries, but I'm always thinking about how else can I spend this to help somebody else. I send my friends cash app. When Cameron Corvée goes on live and his cash app is down there, let me slide him something every little bit. You know what I mean?
You're alluding to something that I want to go through.
Let me just do a little commercial real quick. Quick.
Yeah.
Don't plug.
Okay. Lipstick. Come on. Okay.
Hey, I love it.
Okay.
Oh, those candles are the business, by the way. Those
Nobody but you, candle. Okay.
Yes. Come through.
Jump into something that you alluded to, Algebra, and really the was the springboard for doing this series, and that was a conversation I had with Keisha, who was battling it out with a social media individual about artists. Like we said, you guys have had to get real creative, and so Erykah Badu did a show from her bedroom. She charged for people to see the show. And you had some folks that were really bothered by that. And so Keisha called me and said, "Ray, let's talk about this." And we've got a 9 minutes.
Don't
let's talk about that and how, you know, this is how, like you said, you're missing out on being able to tour and to get your money. So thoughts on that? Should artists be charging?
Right, it's $1.
It's $1, it's $2, it's $3, it's $5, whatever it is. You don't have to pay for it.
Right, that's it. It's an easy choice.
But on top of that, if it was $20, $25,
it's still cheaper than the ticket.
It's cheaper than the ticket, right?
Yeah.
If this is
and there's always a handful.
If this is somebody that you really admire too, that like you say you do, I went on there and watched it. I'm a fan. You know, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna watch it too. I'm gonna pay to see it. It's like going to a concert around town or something, and you expecting to get in for free or whatever. Like, you know where the money is going, bro. Pay the little $10 to get in. You know,
my
this
initial
is a good
exchange
example to show you how you're supposed to really support an artist.
Yeah,
absolutely.
My initial exchange with this person was crazy because, you know, they were saying things like, we support these artists, and if it weren't for us, they wouldn't be as accomplished as they are if we didn't buy their music. And the least they could do is they owe it to us too. And
nobody owes you shit.
That they fired me up so bad, it pissed me off, man.
That's entitlement.
It is.
That's really all that is. And it's no appreciation for that artist. If you really say you support that artist, you will do what it takes to support them. Money, monetary, whatever. Show up, you know, tweet their stuff, repost their videos, whatever. That's support.
That's interesting
for
too,
some reason,
because
that's
the same person that's out going to the barbershop right now and that's out at the festival right now today. So here's the thing with that. They're not, it's always half full and half empty. I always try to take the high road. However, sometimes you cannot. People are still complaining about having to be at home. These are people who don't love themselves from the gate. They don't like their families. They don't like their living situation. They don't like anything. So they're finding something to complain about. If you can go and see an Erykah Badu concert for $1, you get to stay at home, not have to get dressed, enjoy some of your favorite songs, interact with her, and actually literally type in what your feelings are or how this song changed your life, and you're complaining about it for $1, there's ultimately something wrong with you. It's period. There's something wrong with you. It has nothing to do with anything. So all you can do is pray that once we get out of this, that they go check into a mental awareness situation. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with that. If the girl had to charge $25, it still would have been cheaper than
Exactly.
just, oh my God, it's festival time. The amount of money that's spent to go and see any concert right now, tailgating, just whatever, it'll never be cheaper than what you just got, really.
Correct.
For free.
One last question. You know, they're starting to reopen the state. There's talk of places starting to open. Do you feel comfortable going back into venues, city winery, arenas?
Not yet.
Oh, no.
Fox Theater.
Not without the best plan ever. Not without a good plan.
And let me speak to that really quick before we go, Ray. You know, it goes back to creativity, and I've seen recently saw a situation where there was a concert done like a drive-in. So there was a concert, and everyone kind of sat in their cars. So it was kind of like a drive-in concert, which I think is probably going to become a thing. I don't know if it'll stick forever because, you know, contact is really important. But I think that's a really good possibility. And I had a friend of mine to do an acoustic concert. The sound man was 15 feet behind him, and the crowds were like at their cars in a parking lot, and it was a private function, you know, at least 30 feet in front of him. And they were at least, you know, a whole car apart from each other. And that was, you know, if you had actual spaces, it would be skip a space in between. And it turned out to be a really amazing situation. Like going into it, he felt like, what the hell is this about to be? And it turned out to be like really awesome. And the people appreciated him. So I think there's hope regarding the closer future. I don't think that this is going to be forever as people, but I'm not a doom and gloom kind of thinker. Right. I'm careful, but I don't think that this is forever. I think that we'll be back. But I think in the meantime, that's one of the things that kind of has emerged. And I think that that's going to be a good thing for people like us.
Well, guys, we've run out of time. And I thank you so much for taking time out of your schedules to be a part of this conversation. I wish you all the very best as we move throughout this Corona storm. That's what I call it. And can't wait to see you guys back on stage doing your thing. Much success, much prayer to you as we continue to go through this. And again, thank you so very much. Keisha Jackson, Algebra, Anthony David, and Lil John Roberts. Thank you so very much, guys. I appreciate you.
Much love, Ray.
Appreciate you so much.
I love you guys. I miss you guys.
Enjoy your day. I'll call y'all later.